Hi, welcome to the demonstration of Zaplify. So this will help you with your sales prospecting. It can be really challenging trying to manage what stage each of your target prospects is at. So this is going to be a way for you to be able to manage that process in one central place. So here are your options. So you would start by creating a campaign. So you open Zaplify and you create a campaign. So you click on this blue button here, and what it's coming up with first is it wants you to identify your prospects. So what we would do here is we may have a few company names that we actually want to put in, and it will see if it's got that data for them. So basically it's going to come back with their LinkedIn details and also an email address for them. So you've got two ways of doing this. You can either try and search for the data that's in their database. Now they have in excess of 600 million contacts for decision makers within the system itself. Now, if you're on the free version, you have 20 credits available to you. However, you can upgrade. There is the starter version, which gives you 1,200 prospects. So basically one prospect equals one credit. So you have 1,200 credits available to you, and it will allow you to have 2 users. The cost of that is 67 euros. So that's approximately with the exchange rate currently around about 56, 57 pounds. But if you don't want to do that, the other option would be that you can upload your own data. So if you have got a fairly good database that has been cleansed, so you know the email addresses are correct, then you could just upload your data rather than using credits and paying to search through their data. So, but I'll just show the example here. So we might want to put in company name here, but if we didn't know the company name, then we could just start looking at different criteria for our data. So for example, we could say, well, actually, we don't want education management, we don't want financial services, we don't want health, wellness and fitness, but maybe we want hospitality. We don't need insurance. Maybe we need just hospitality. Let's just stick with hospitality on this occasion. So then you can choose your tier level for your employee headcount. So depending on what your persona is of your target audience, this will define what you're looking for. What I would suggest when you're doing any campaigns is if you want to do a campaign that is for an audience that has anywhere between 201 and 500 employees, do that as one campaign. And then the other campaign, if you wanted to do it for over 1,000 to 5,000, do that as a separate campaign, because I think your messages need to be slightly different. So don't try to lump too much in. This is all about tailoring your approach rather than one size fits all, because the message won't resonate with that audience if you're trying to lump everyone in together. So let's just say we're going to get rid of some of these other things, and we've decided that we are just going to send it to 200 to 500. So then we can choose the job title. So maybe we just we're going to get rid of all these because we want, in the hospitality industry, just the general manager. So we'll start typing general manager. So as you can see, as we start typing, it will come up with that. So we're going to put general manager in there. But as we do type in general manager, you can see that it comes up with some alternative suggestions. So maybe we don't just want the general manager. Maybe we want the operations manager. Maybe we want the restaurant manager. And let's just leave it at that. So we've picked those, but you can pick multiple. So, or if you wanted to add all of them, you could add all of them. But actually, you really want to make it very targeted to the people that you're talking to. So actually, I think I'm going to remove the restaurant manager, because the general manager, ops manager are going to have the same similar pain points there. So we will keep them at that. So location. So we might want to say we want this really targeted, and we only want to cover North Wales. Let's just say okay, so we've picked Wales, Rotherham. So we've picked that there. Then we can choose some keywords if we want to. What I found when I'm using keywords is that sometimes that's really limiting the data that it's coming back with. So let's just keep that clear at the moment. And then we're going to press search. So we can see that it's coming up with a number of general managers in the area. Now, if we didn't have our own data and we wanted to use this data, we could look at this, and we could look at that particular one. So you can see it's the head of steam, and the two people within the head of steam are Alex, and the other person is Jawad. So we could, if we wanted to, if we knew that that was something of interest to us, we could just click on here. That's going to take you to their website so that we can see what they're all about and whether they're the right target audience for us. So we've decided that they are, so we'll jump back into Zaplify. And what we can do is we could press add. So if we did that, it would automatically add them to our campaign. But obviously, one credit equals one prospect. So if we add Alex and we've got 20 credits, then it would mean that we've got 19 left. So just sort of think carefully. So it will unlock the LinkedIn address, and it will all unlock the email. So then you'll be able to communicate them as part of your campaign. So let's just assume that we've added some stuff here to the contacts. And then what we will do is we will move over to the workflow. So we've kind of thought about our target audience, so we know what we want to do. So this is where we then start creating our sequence, our sales prospecting playbook that we want to go out. So you can see here that the first touch point is that we would look at their profile, then we wait. Now, what the system has done is it's put in the suggested wait times between each of the touch points that you're going to have. And the reason it's done that is because they've done quite a bit of research, and they believe that this is the most successful sequence that they're using. Bear in mind, though, that can be quite subjective. It depends what target audience you're going out to as to whether that's going to work. But at least it's a guide. And if you're not sure and haven't been doing much prospecting in the past, so don't already have a pattern and a rhythm and know what works, then it's easy to follow this sequence and use the delay times that they've suggested. So what you would do is you would say, okay, so we're going to visit their profile, and then we're going to wait 1 day before checking replies. And so the system will automatically check the replies. If there are no replies, then what it will do is it will send another message. Now, you can see here that there are some messages already in here. But what we can do is we can create our own. So we could write our own messages, and then we could add something, add them into here. Now you can see here, there's personal tags. So what it means by personal tags is these are the tags that you can use to make that email that you're sending or that LinkedIn connection request a little bit more personal. So here you can say, it's going to say, hi, first name. So whoever that name is, hi, Richard, I came across your profile. profile. I'm really impressed with the work that you do at. And then the next tag is the organization's name. So this would be the company name that they worked for. So as you can see here, it's going to have a little bit more personalization. So if you didn't want to use that one, you can generate messages through the AI tool that they have embedded in here. So you can click on this, and it's just having a think about it, trying to decide what it's going to create. So as you can see there, it's changed the message, and we can have a look at that, and we can decide whether that's something that we feel comfortable with. So you can see here as well, though, it's saying the text is too long. Maximum text length is 285 characters. So we would need to make that slightly shorter. So anything that has an alarm like this means that it is a little too long. So we've sent a connection request. If they interact with that connection request, it will immediately stop us from sending anything else out. So if they if they reply to the connection request, so if they reply and say, I'd like to talk to you, the system will recognize that as an action and then will stop the process. So there's no concerns that someone would keep going through the process regardless of whether you've already done something with them. So if they interact back with you on email or through LinkedIn, because they're the two platforms that you connect to using Zaplify, then it will automatically stop that process. However, if you've given them a telephone number and they choose to then give you a call, it won't stop the process. So you will then need to go in and manually pause the prospect. And you can do that inside the prospect management page. So where you've uploaded your data, you can then pause that automatically. So you can see here, then it's saying we're going to wait 5 days before checking replies. So if you start looking at the responses that you're getting and think, well, that person's responded to me, but it's not showing against them that they have, that's because you can see here that we wait 1 day and then we send this LinkedIn connection request. Assume that they sent a response back straight away. The system won't check until close to the 5th day to find out, has it done any interaction or has it not done any interaction? And then what it will do is, based on that decision, whether they've interacted or not, it will say, if they have, then there will be no further touch points. If they haven't, then it will continue the process. So if you look at your numbers and think that they don't look quite right because some people have responded, it's because it could take up to 5 days for that to show before it checks into the statistical analysis. So then after 5 days, we might send a LinkedIn follow-up message. So again, you've got the opportunity to generate the message through AI, through artificial intelligence, and you can add your personal tags. So again, it is just worth thinking about those messages. We will talk about that in some of the sessions that we do, about the messages that you want to send, so that you have a bank of these messages that you can create when you're doing your campaigns, that you know that as a company, they have the right tone of voice, they match your brand, and they sound like you. And I think that's the most important thing. Those messages need to sound like you. They don't need to sound like that someone's reading a company brochure. So then the next stage could be that you then send an email. Now, these are all subjective. You as a business will decide what sequence of events you want to happen, which touch points and when, and what they will be, and what the message will be is very bespoke to each business. So, it is important that you sit down and really plan this out and make sure that you're happy with the sequence, the sales prospecting sequence of touch points and the messages that you're going to be giving before you then start this campaign. So you're going to enter all this data into here. You can choose how many touch points that you want, and you keep adding stuff. So you've built that. And then when you go into, you can then save your information here. And then if you wanted to, and if you'd uploaded your prospects, you could then start the campaign. Now, at this moment, I haven't actually added the contacts because I'm in a dummy site for the purpose of showing you this demo. But if you wanted to, you've done this far and then you think, actually, I want to, you've saved it, but I'm not ready to send it yet, you can then just exit. And as you can see here, you can have multiple campaigns. Now, I think what is worth remembering when you're doing the campaigns is make sure that you have a good naming convention so that you don't ever put someone through a campaign that shouldn't be. So we've now named it the test demo, as you can see here. And if we loaded data in, you would start seeing some analytics of what's queued, what's active, what's inactive, what's finished, and how many people have replied. So then once you've done, you could at any one time have multiple campaigns going. So you're then going to want to look at your statistics. Although it says beta, it actually isn't in beta stage anymore. So they just haven't changed this in their website. So you can start seeing some of the key metrics and you can see, the last 60 days, what percentage of reply rates you've got, how many people have been contacted, how many people have accepted your connection request, and what percentage that represents, how many tasks you've completed, how many replies. And obviously, if you had a sales team, then actually you can have your team members and you can have a breakdown here so you can see who's doing what, who's most successful. Because then what you can start doing is analysing the results that you're getting as a company to be able to see, maybe where you need to tweak it in some areas with some of your salespeople that maybe aren't getting the best results. So really worth thinking about. Now, if you've already got a CRM system, yes, you could manage this process in the CRM system. It would just be a case of tweaking some of your fields so that you could always see when someone was at a certain stage. But there is going to be, a fair amount more manual unless you're paying for a higher version of a CRM system to get some of the sequencing that's involved. So, this I think is a really simple way of using the sales prospecting playbook, but allowing the system to do this for you. So this is all just about the introductions. It's not going to manage it once if someone says, yes, I'd like to book a meeting, then obviously once that happens, the process ends and then you go on to, add more people to your campaign. So what's worth thinking about, obviously the starter, as I said, the free version, you get 20 credits per month, which equals 20 prospects. But if you already have your own data, it's not an issue. You literally would upload a CSV file that then will load that information in. You just want to make sure that your information is correct and that you've cleaned the data so you do know that they are the right people you want to talk to and that their emails are correct. Otherwise, they're going to bounce and that's not good. So, remember, it's connected to LinkedIn and it's also got connected to your email. And it will work with Gmail and it will work with Outlook. And there are over 100 million companies within the system. It does integrate with some CRM systems. The current ones are HubSpot. It also integrates with Salesforce, Pipedrive, and Upsales. And I know they are looking at other integrations. There will be Zoho coming at some point as well. So for anyone using that, it will be coming soon. They have got some product updates coming in the next few weeks, so there'll probably be more available to you within this system. But this is a great way for someone to use the process of prospecting without having to spend any money. If you've already got your own data, you can just use this for free. And what it does is make sure that it doesn't send too many requests. Obviously, you've got to comply with LinkedIn and you'll only have a certain amount you've got 300 LinkedIn requests that you could send in a month. Then, it needs to make sure that we're not exceeding that. Otherwise, LinkedIn will see it as spamming and and that's where you can start getting temporary blocks on the platform. So this isn't about mass. It's not about mass prospecting. This is about quality over quality over quantity, and this is about having very tailored messages to the people that you're trying to go out to, both from an industry perspective but also from a role perspective as well. So I hope you've enjoyed the quick run through of Zaplify. It's definitely worth giving it a go, even if you just trialed it with one campaign to see how you do. I think, you know, there is cause for maybe doing some manual process and having this working alongside of you. It's like having a double of yourself. Don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but you know, it's certainly going to help you in terms of productivity to get more opportunities to get in front of people. So give it a go and let me know what you think of it.